decided that, maybe music is not for me. Maybe I'm going to do something else, And I decided to go to Jamaica and open up an internet cafe and do business rather than music.
Really?
Really. Your children, they make mistakes. They do crazy things. Sometimes you feel like you want to shake them, squeeze them, but you must love them regardless. And when you have a union, there can't be a day that you say, go, you're not my family anymore. Because family is family regardless of whatever you do. Even though you broke my heart.
And I lay here in the dark.
Yeah. Tears rolling down my face, flowing from my heart. I will never leave your side, ride or die.
What was the inspiration behind, that particular song? I just,
Love song.
Yes.
He doesn't like me to talk about it.
Oh.
But it's after he broke my heart.
Yeah, it happened around the time when you guys had
after he broke my heart for the first time that I wrote the song in the back of a car. Like it threw me. Like it was like off guard, and it threw me.
I mean, he must have felt special because that lyric.
He hated it.
Yeah, he did.
He hated the song. He hated the song, but eventually, sometimes it's in your lowest moment as a writer or a creator that you create some of the biggest songs. Like I'm Not Afraid.
True. Nice seeing you finally.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Sorry, it was such unfortunate. I missed yesterday's and you missed it as well. All of the shows that you've always planned have gone through, have successfully gone through. So what happened? Because I just saw your tweet and I remember sharing it with a couple of my friends and I'm like, so just take off your clothes.
It's unfortunate, I mean, we intended on putting on like one of the best shows ever as usual.
Yeah.
Because in 2021, the show was massive. It was very successful, and we intended to do that one more time. Unfortunately, though, a group of people decided, even in the midst of our promotion, to start promoting another show for Diamond Platinums.
Yeah.
We were still promoting the show. It didn't matter, still moving, still going. And then I heard that the Diamond Platinum show was postponed. We were still promoting the show just the same. Until I went to Citizens TV and I saw like a group of people like rushed in, like maybe 30, 50, 40 people in that range.
Those are so many.
So many.
Yeah.
And I thought it was strange that so many people would show up for just one interview.
Yeah.
And when I was trying to, after I finished presenting myself, the song, the show, I was walking out and they wouldn't move. And so I stood there and they stood there and we were all at a standoff until someone who was standing on the left of me moved out of the way and we just left. It wasn't until on the day of the show, that I heard, the show is not happening because the authorities say that both shows cannot happen in the same area.
So while you were at Citizen TV, was there like any message? Did you feel like there could be something? You didn't get any
I do
hint
know that my interview was scheduled for a different time and then they switched it at the last minute. So we both bumped into each other, both Platinums and myself and his entourage, which was very huge.
Yes.
I guess it's supposed to be intimidating, but as I said before in my tweet, in Jamaica, that's a common thing. Like I did that when I first started in music, like we would appear with like 30, 40 man, but in this time I'm grown. I don't need, that many people. And I think the people around me is skilled enough to manage, should anything
arise,
right?
That kind of a thing.
And so I was very comfortable in my skin. And then again, I'm in Kenya. I'm even more comfortable in my skin. Yeah.
You need to get some citizenship. It's been the fifth time you're coming.
Number four.
Yeah. I'm hoping you're gonna come again. But what's important is I'm aware that your show is still happening in other towns.
On the 14th.
Yeah. Not this particular
well, actually,
show.
in Nairobi on the 14th, and then Mombasa, Eldoret, and I believe Nanyuki.
Nanyuki. Can you say Nanyuki?
Nanyuki. Nanyuki.
Whatever it is. So
it will be posted on Facebook. It's posted there already, but because of the new announcement, we'll post it on Facebook, Instagram, and also on different platforms in Kenya.
So that means our tickets are safe.
All the tickets are safe.
Oh, good.
All of them.
I think you make me a little bit settled.
No, I mean, I will try my best to ensure that every ticket is honored, because the new event will be announced.
Thank you. Yeah. So let's speak about where it all started.
For me, I was first in a girl group, right? Gift listening to we created like rock music, so it was R&B rock. Style was different, definitely not reggae.
Yes.
And let me rephrase: R&B rock pop, right?
Yeah.
And I remember not being able to like write our own songs. We were given the songs, given the clothes, given the shoes, given the hair, given everything. Show up to the gym every single day. We had a routine, and also for choreography as well. So we had choreography and workout, you know. But then I wasn't so comfortable when we had to do the video shoot, and the camera guy went down low. So in the choreography, we had to like turn to the right and turn to the left. But each time I turned to the right,
it's your
the camera's like right there.
You know? Yeah.
And I felt violated. I felt like he was taking something from me that I never gave him, or gave him the right to take. Yeah. And so I decided that maybe music is not for me. Maybe I'm gonna do something else. And I decided to go to Jamaica and open up an internet cafe and do business rather than music.
Really?
Really.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I was serious about it. And in the process of like creating that business, I met Richie Spice and his management crew, and they were looking for a background vocalist for one show because his background vocalist was about to give birth.
Yes.
So I ended up doing that one show. Then they asked me to do another show and another show.
Yeah, because
till it got to the point where they were like, well, we needed to write a song. And I'm like, here we go again. And I said, I'll think about it,
Had your passion sort of just gone a little bit lower?
Yeah, I was done with music altogether. Like done, because I thought that if doing music required me to be a certain way and too sexual and to give of me more than I need to, then I'd rather not do that, In retrospect, a lot of people may say, well, do you think that
you're going to be successful if you don't show that part of you? Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that I care. I care about how I feel in my own skin. And I do what I want to do. I show what I want to show. And I don't think that I should be forced to do otherwise, or else I get on the rebellious side, which, is very strong. So, I eventually, when I realized that amongst those men, because it was like a yard full of just Rasta man.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We'll leap at them. And after getting more comfortable, like I realized, hey, nobody's trying to, approach me in a negative way. They all saw me like a little sister or them daughter or something like that, I was able to like walk barefoot if I want, wear nappy hair if I wanted to. Nobody was telling me that you have to braid your hair. I was able to be myself.
So basically you are in control.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a little after that, the company was broken down because the managers were incarcerated,
Oh.
you know,
Yeah.
and I was left on my own, basically, to find myself in music. And so we created the CDs and walked out the street and distribute to people in the street, you know, show up on sound systems and sing and until I found my way. But before all of that happened, I still had one of the biggest songs in Jamaica at the time of their incarceration, and that was Wrong Address, right? So based on the fact that I had Wrong Address and I had like other songs that I wrote,
Yeah.
I went into the studio and finished creating those songs, created my CDs, created my own label,
Congratulations, yeah.
and started to distribute my own songs until I got a phone call. And I was told, hey, you have to go to VP.
So, where is VP?
Right.
What is
so
VP?
That was the first label that
Yeah.
I signed an agreement with.
Yes.
So back then, I still do have this loyalty, right? So because they were working with me before, and because I was so loyal to them, when I was told to go to VP, I went, you know. But in that agreement, I still had like my own creative rights control.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of things that I didn't know, you know, because it wasn't my intention to go to a label. It was just my intention to use
So
my own label.
your own, yes, yeah.
Right. And we went through the agreement, and that's where my first album was released in 2008. Then all the way up to 2014, which is, of course, a length of time in my life.
Yes.
You know, and then I decided to find a lawyer to get out of the contract that I had with them, because I was doing the last album, and they didn't want to let me go even after the agreement being complete.
But I wouldn't want to let you go either. I mean, this is an artist with amazing vocals, you know, and it's not as easy finding a consistent artist, female artist, if you get me, you know. So I wouldn't want to let you go either. Yeah. But what is it that was getting you feel like you needed to go?
Well, I remember after learning how to tour and to maneuver through music, I remember going to a meeting in the company, and we were explaining to them that, hey, if Burger King puts out a new burger and they don't, you know, advertise to the world that this new burger is here, what's the chances of that burger being sold, you know? And I remember sitting in the room and the guy said, well, the numbers, you know? And I'm like, again, if you don't promote the product,
no one will know the product exists.
So where will the numbers come from?
Yeah.
And he kept talking. I'm saying, hey, if you open your mouth one more time.
Someone is disrupting our conversation.
I'm saying, you, if you open your mouth one more time.
Yeah.
And I had to, I responded that way because you're flip-flopping on the facts, right?
Yeah.
And in music, it's hard enough for a female in any business to progress without having to work 10 times as hard. And here it is that you're presenting like another another pillar for me to jump over, you know, another obstacle by being foolish. And I just, my patience ran out, and I basically said to them, listen, I'm an artist for you. And I'm the only, besides Beres Hammond, I was the only touring artist in the company. And I said, I'm the only touring artist. My albums sell out in the venues. You never had me on TV to do an interview that made sense.
Yeah.
And all your interviews that you schedule with me were with bloggers. And I deserve more.
Much more better.
And so I decided at that point that if I have to tell you that, after working with you for so long and after 4 albums, then we need to part ways. And that's when I got a lawyer to to fix it.
And that also meant that it was piling and it was piling on you. So you were basically like ready to jump out.
It piled up like a lot, you know? And I decided that if I have to tell you this and we've been working together, then it's time for us to part ways. And it was a little bit of back and forth, even with the lawyer, you know?
Yeah.
But I saw a loophole that I knew would work. And I called the lawyer and I said, here's how you end this back and forth.
Yeah.
And I told her, and sure enough, they had to sign it, you know? And we parted ways. Then I moved on to my first independent project. It took me a while again. Because this is when I thought to myself, yo, I'm done. Like, this is just too much.
What year was that? Which year was that?
This is like 2018.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, I'm done with music again one more time.
Yeah.
You know? And then Andre said to me, what makes you think that you can't do it? Like, you've been involved all this time, you know? And you've had total creative rights control where they couldn't tell you what to sing and to write and to do. So what makes you think that you can't do it now? I may say, yo, with all that it comes with, you know, it's like I would have to prepare my mind double time to do it by myself, all by myself. Financially, strategically, and everything. And then
else.
I decided, if he thinks that it can work, then I guess we could do it together. And so we completed the album, and that ended up being the first Grammy-nominated album.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And looking at where you're coming from, I think passion speaks much more louder, because if it weren't passion, I'm sure you'd have given up long time ago.
Yeah.
Let's speak about Andre and you guys meeting and, you know, deciding we need to make this team. How did you guys meet, the two of you?
We were doing an interview.
You won't believe the way he's looking at me right now.
We were doing an interview. He thinks that I'm too honest when I speak, but we were doing an interview. And that's the time when we met. No, actually, I was brought to like an art show. And he was a part of the whole production. And he was the one to walk me up on the stage.
Really?
I wasn't looking at him. He wasn't looking at me. It was just what it was. Well, I don't know if he was looking, but I didn't.
So did he hold your hand while taking
He had to hold my hand and walk me up on the stage. But again, we didn't see each other then, you know?
Yes.
And so, again, he had to interview me. That's when we were actually face to face and had to have a conversation.
Yeah.
He was sweating. The room was weird. You know, the room was weird, and we both felt it, but we still didn't.
How were you feeling?
Weird, like nervous. You know, like almost like, where do I know you from? But anyway, that moment passed as well. Then 2 years later, or a year and a half later, I had to do a video shoot. And his picture came up with some other people. I still didn't realize that this is the same person. It was
the same guy, yeah.
The other guy that I wanted to do the shoot was not available. And it was just the two of them, two pics.
Yes.
I don't know what happened, but I told them that either him or the other person, I just need you to bring one of them. He showed up. But when I saw him on the lawn, so I was like,
we've met
maybe.
Before. Oh, yeah.
And then in the moment of the video when we had to like do a little peck, I don't call it a kiss, but like a peck to make it look like we're about to kiss.
Yes.
The camera fell from the camera guy's hand. Everybody was nervous, like things were falling all over the place, and everybody was like, yeah, the whole room felt it. And that was it.
So that was a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we met 2 times before and never saw each other at all. It was just the 3rd time.
Who said, I love you first? And how did you even think about, you know, you can now create a team, move forward?
I think it just eventually formed by itself. Like we never said, hey, let's work together. Let's, you know, he was just always around learning, and he never knew anything much about my world. It's over time that he learned, you know?
Yeah.
And from being around and from wanting to be around, be with me, to be there for me. And it was natural, I think.
Great. And now you guys are blessed to have two beautiful kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's been a while. I mean, one is almost
12.
a teen, you know.
Yeah.
And how is it, you know, going through motherhood, being a wife, being this songstress that is award-winning and everything?
Well, I think everybody is aware of my personality by now, you know. Like, there are times when I take a step back.
Yeah.
And everybody just allow me to be, because I need to, as much as I give on the road, like meeting people, hugging people, singing, performing, I need to be able to center myself and to get back to my spirituality and focus, you know?
Yeah.
Keep my mind where I think I'm most comfortable, even in the hardest times and situations. So besides that, I play my role, I believe, well enough where, you know, everyone is comfortable and receives their own time, you know? And imagine how much dedication that must take, you know?
I know.
Because I have to be able to feel everyone around me in that room, in that house. If they move, I know. Like, you know, I know everything by just observing, by just being still. I can see, feel, and know.
That is a mother's instinct.
Yeah.
I think somehow the women have that power. But
Yeah.
then it gets to a moment when you have to be there for everyone, the kids, you know, your family and all of that. But then you are human, Etana.
Right.
You're so human that even despite you being this megastar, you still have, you know, the natural aspects of humanity to go through. So how do you take care of, you know, your mental health to just make sure that, you know, with everything that is happening, you know, I still need to prioritize myself?
Well, I learned one thing, and I carry it with me every day. The line that says, be still and know that I am God.
Praise Jesus.
Be still
Yeah.
and know
Yeah.
that I am God.
Yeah.
I never live without that. That's like part of one of my keepsake mantras, you know? So in the roughest of times, in the most serious of times, I learned to be still and know. And yeah, there are times when you may think, you may be unsure,
Yeah.
nervous, but in each step, somehow, in some way, I'm reminded, and it would take me like a length of time for you to actually get it.
Yeah.
But in little ways, I'm reminded to be still and know that I am God. God is amazing. And I've formed like that relationship where I know that my back, my side, every part of me, you know, is taken care of. And I remember one day I was like really, really pressured, stressed out.
Yeah.
And I lay down in the bed and I said, Mama, where are you? I called like on my ancestors and said, where are you? Like, I need you guys right now. This is serious. You know, I feel like I can't carry this one. And I got a phone call from a lady way in another country the next day who doesn't even know me. Like she spoke to me through a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And she said, your ancestors said to let you know that you are not alone and that they're there.
Wow.
Imagine I just laid on my bed the night before and I got the phone call the next day.
You're such a believer, you know. And
No,
that is
no,
not,
no.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I used to believe. I know now. Like, you can't believe that you're 15. You can't believe that you're 20.
Yeah.
You can't believe that today is today. You have to know that today is today.
That is good power.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the toughest moments you've gone through as a human being?
toughest moments.
Yeah, the hardest of them all. You know, when you really think you can hold everything together, but it just broke you completely.
A breaking moment.
Yeah.
I can go way back, like before I was Etana.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a time when I broke up with my ex, moved out on my own, go to McDonald's, wash myself up, sleep in my car, you know. Got my first apartment. I stuffed the pillowcases with my clothes. I slept on the floor,
Yeah.
you know, and I couldn't pay the rent the next month. And when the time come, I called everybody. Like one of my aunts was like, hey, your grandmother just won a lawsuit, you know, you can call her and try to get some money. And I called her and she said no.
Your grandma?
Yeah, she said no. You have to figure this out. And I just went in and I said, all right, I did everything. So what am I supposed to do now? Like, this has to be that you fix this now, because I can't do anything anymore like I've done. To the point where I like my monthly came at the same time. I was that stressed out.
That tells you something.
I was shattered.
It was over here.
Yeah. And I went downstairs to my car and I saw this man driving past. And he was looking for directions. And I told him where it was. And he said, so where are you from? Yeah, Jamaican? Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah. And so, really? And he started, you know, to have a conversation, older guy. And I told him, you know, that, you know, he said, so what do you do? I said, well, nothing really now, you know, more than just the only thing that I do is sing, and I go to work every day. And he said, you sing? I said, yeah. And he said, sing something. And I was like, no. No. And him say, no, sing something.
Yeah.
And so I did. And him say, yo, you know, so I'm a producer. I'm going to need you for, I'm going to do an album with you.
He was Jamaican too?
Yeah. Him say, I need you to sing. I'm going to say, sing, I want some money.
And you got rent to pay.
No, and that's when he said to me, him said, how much you want? Jokingly, like he was laughing. Like him said, how much you want? I'm going to say, I need about $2,000.
Oh.
Him said, $2,000, that's all you want. $2,000.
That is so little to ask. And he was like, yeah.
Him said, may I give you $3,000?
Oh, cheers.
Cheers,
Etana. This is how it was.
He said, may I give you $3,000?
Wow.
And all you need for do, I give me 5 songs. I don't know if I'm going to release those songs with you, or I'm going to introduce the song them to another artist to sing. But all I want you to do, I create the song them. I'm going to say, when? You know, and he said, give me a couple of days, and I will come back. And sure enough,
he came back.
And I just paid the rent.
Oh.
Just walked outside to my car.
God sent.
Yeah. So it's like I can go way back then, or I can come all the way up. I got many moments, you know?
You know why I'm asking you about those moments is because of the music you bring to us.
Yeah.
You know, you really want, listening to them, you really want to be gangster and not care about love and that sort of thing, you know. But then you're coming in with a lot of emotions and, you know, loving somebody without conditions, loving somebody with no millions. We don't want that. We want to love someone with millions.
No, so but hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I never said to not find a partner that has, you know, money or can support himself or you.
Yes.
You know, or to find somebody with that balance. But what I'm saying is that in life, because there is up and down, there are going to be times when there is none. So the money cannot be the reason the relationship is formed. The money or the sex or that one thing can't be the reason. So when I say I will love you without condition, like I see you as a person, right?
Yeah.
And instead of looking at your flaws and the things you don't have or do have, I see you as a person. So it doesn't matter what you do, the mistakes you've made, the things you must learn.
Yeah.
I have to love you
the way you are.
I have to love you as you, the spiritual you, the inside you. Because at the end of the day, just like your children.
Yeah.
Your children, they make mistakes, they do crazy things. Sometimes you feel like you want to shake them, squeeze them, but you must love them regardless. And when you have a union, there can't be a day that you say, go, you're not my family anymore. Because family is family regardless of whatever you do.
What was
and that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But when you get to understand it and you get to see a person as a person, then you understand that humans, I always say people are people. This is the simplest way. People are people and people do things that people do.
People are people and people do things that people do. What was the inspiration behind, that particular song?
Love song.
Yes.
He doesn't like me to talk about it. But it's after he broke my heart.
Yeah, it happened around the time when you guys had
after he broke my heart for the first time that I wrote the song in the back of a car. Like it threw me. Like it was like off guard, and then it threw me. And I said, but wait a minute. People are people, and people do things that people do. Why are you so shaken? Even though you broke my heart.
And I lay here in the dark.
Yeah. Tears rolling down my face, flowing from my heart. I will never leave your side, ride or die.
I mean, he must have felt special because that lyric.
He hated it.
Yeah, he did.
He hated the song. He hated the song, but eventually, sometimes it's in your lowest moment as a writer or a creator that you create some of the biggest songs, like "I'm Not Afraid" or "Free" or
"I Rise."
"I Am Your Queen" or "I Rise."
Oh, yeah.
There's. I can go on and on.
You can go on, and that's why it brings me to ask you something again, Mackenzie. Mm-hmm. Do you sometimes forget your Mackenzie, by the way?
Mackenzie come from my father, you know.
Oh yeah.
And we're not as close.
Oh, sorry.
But if I should see him, I'm all over him, and you would think that
you've always been close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because of that same unconditional love. You love regardless. But he had a troubled childhood, and even when I was growing up, like my life was troubled too because of, his trauma that affected his capability of, I guess, family, like keeping a family together.
Yeah.
Then, migrating from Jamaica to the United States when I had to live with his mother, even then I ended up on the streets as a girl, 12 years old.
What happened?
Living from house to house. Like my mom and his mother got in an argument, and she said that she would hit my mother. And I said, if you hit my mother, then you have to hit me too.
You were so young. You were already bold.
I said, if you hit my mother, you have to hit me too. And she said, well, your mom have to leave. And I remember my mom going to the door, and I was like, yo, if my mom's leaving, then I'm leaving too. So I packed my bag, but by the time I got outside, I didn't see my mom. Like, I don't know which direction she went. So I walked to the door, and I walked up the street, all the way up the street, and I went to my friend's house. And I was like, yo, can you ask your mom if I could stay here for tonight? And I lived like that for like a while, from house to house. But I think one of the greatest things for me is that I was never harmed by anyone. Like everyone, I remember the main house that I stayed for a long time. What I did is I was very good at math. And so I would teach the kids in the house and do their homework and stuff with them. And I would go to school every day. I was a straight A student the whole time. And so I would do homework.
I mean, you look like one.
And I would do the homework and
Yeah.
stuff and go from house to house. And then one day, my mom called me and she was like, hey, I found somewhere, you know. That was
So
it.
she finally called you after how long? All this while she ran
Man,
away from
like,
home? Were you guys
I
in
was
touch?
like 13 or 14. We had no phones. Like, we never have cell phone.
Yeah. But so how long does she call you after the both of you flew the house?
We don't know, about a year and a half or 2 years.
That's lovely to hear. Sorry about that.
No,
And then-
man, but
yeah.
you see, I kept myself safe and God keep me safe.
So
So
tell me
good.
about the relationship between you and your mama. Because looking,
Man, my
hearing,
mother,
hearing you
my
say,
mom is a general. Like my
Oh,
mom,
yeah.
yo, my mom is a general. We're cool.
I can see your eyes just lighting up when you're
Yeah.
talking about it.
My mom is cool.
And so that gets me to say, now that you're a mother, what is it that you think you can do differently to your kids?
Oh man, you never know, you know, because at the same time, them born with them own spirit and them own journey, their own, like everyone that came to this earth has I would say like a mandate. Even if you don't know it, you have it. You know it.
Yeah.
Like they have to find their way, and they must learn all the lessons that they came here to learn. So, the fact that they came to me, it means that my responsibility is to guard them, care for them, show them love, and give them all the things they need, and to prepare them for the journey that they must take, and hope that, you know, the lessons that I've given them is still in the center of them some way, you know?
Yeah.
You never know. You just have to do and do your best as a parent.
You never know. You know, sometimes I look at you guys doing amazing things in the industry, you know. Look at athletes, women athletes doing amazing things. And when you look at the environment with which you are, the United States particularly, you know, there's lots of talent, amazing talents all over, yeah. But then there is the risk of, you know, breaking through, and as a female, just feeling confident and comfortable with yourself.
You have no choice.
Yeah, Etana. Let's speak about, you know, sexualization in your industry. You know, when you are telling me about this particular group as a gift, you know, when you don't have control about how you dress, or you don't have a voice about how you want things done. What does that tell you about the industry, and especially the female talents?
It goes further than that. It goes much further than, you know, clothes and shoes and stuff. Some people get agreements where they can't have children. Some people get agreements where they can't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Is it that bad?
No, it goes that far because they want as much control over you, because you become the product.
Whoa.
You become a product that they have invested millions of dollars in. So they get to control you as much as they can, and as much as you allow them to, you know? And if that means sending the artist to a location to meet with somebody for whatever reasons, where they must do whatever they're told to do, then they have to do it to make it work. So it depends on how far you allow them to go and how much money you want to take from them.
I envy you. You know, I envy you. I admire you because you have, you know, your own principles. But this is somebody who is getting new to the industry. They have, you know, no idea, no clue, no mentor on how to go about it.
Hey.
And, you know, from producers to writers, men wanting to sleep with you, you know, producers or, you know, film directors, camera crew and everyone wanting to sleep with you because before they play your music, before. What do you have to say about that?
All right. So if you're comfortable giving, all of you, your soul, your sanity, your everything, and you are all right with that, and you think 5-10 years from now you will be all right with that, then by all means, go for it. But if in the end you believe, not just in this moment, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you see these people again, will you be all right with everything that you did or have to do? You must choose. And like Jimmy Cliff once told me, he said, you can choose the love of money, or you can choose the love of music and the people.
Yeah.
You choose. You know? Excuse me.
Sorry.
We were in a studio one day. I'll be as short as possible. And I was thinking, you know,
I didn't give you no disclaimer.
I was thinking to myself in writing the music, you know, when you write certain root songs, certain cultural songs, they don't go as far and as fast. So I'm thinking maybe I need to do something more, you know, something different, something more aggressive, either in a sexual way or in a dancehall way, in a, you know, on the flip side of what I do. And I got a phone call right in that moment, in that conversation with the engineer. I kid you not.
Stop it.
I swear. And my friend, who is really spiritual, way more than me, I would think, I don't know if you can even compare that, but I don't know. He said to me, Yahweh says to pick a side. And I put him on the speaker because I wanted the engineer to hear it, because I couldn't believe.
Yes.
Because we were here, he's way in Montego Bay, like maybe 4 hours, 3 hours away. And I said, repeat what you said. He said, Yahweh said to pick a side. And he started to get spiritual and started to pray. And he said, if you don't pick a side right now. And he couldn't speak, and he hung up the phone.
Wow.
And I said, I need no more confirmation as to what I must do. So I started out with the intention to inspire, uplift, and encourage, and to make my people, and I say my people, I mean all of us, our journey lighter. And it was at that moment that if I was never sure before what my journey is, what's required of me, I knew then.
You knew then.
Right. So whether it means that the music goes fast, or whether it means that I get rich or not, or anything, none of that really matters. What matters is what is assigned to me to do.
What is assigned to you to do?
Right.
You know, while you were speaking about the phone call, I've been, my mind has been playing a lot about all the music videos that you've done before. And I'm like, I don't know if, it's about your principles or the people like, Marcus Garvey or, Emperor Haile Selassie or something. But there's a way you dress, Etana, when you're doing your videos. And even right now, And I'd be comfortable to watch that with my family,
Right.
Yeah, listen to your music, watching your video comfortably without, worrying about, oh my gosh, I hope my son, my daughter doesn't look at that.
Right.
So tell me, what is
5 years from now?
Yes. What is it about your brand?
Excuse me.
How did you even, want to be in that sort of space?
If 5 years from now, I can't look back at the video and say, I'm cool with it. Because this world, remember, women are beautiful all over the world. Right?
Yeah.
But we all, women and men, we all come with a light, electricity inside that makes this body move. And without that soul, without that light, this body is nothing. So I can be attracted to the sexiest man, or a man could be attracted to the sexiest woman all day, or whichever way. However, if you have consumed the same thing every day, while you have other choices, same day, every day, eventually you get tired of that one thing and you want to know what else is there. Mm-hmm. So we as humans, we end up hopping around to different people, you know? But what we're not getting, yes, is that soul. Do I know you? Can you feel me? Can you see me? So this on the outside, yes, I keep it together.
Yeah.
You know,
You go to
I make
the
myself
gym.
presentable.
Yeah.
But in the end, that is not my main goal. My main goal is for you to see me. With your eyes closed, see me. Like I see you. Right. I told you I see the world differently.
I know, and I think I love your perspective of, seeing the world differently. It's one thing to be a successful award-winning songstress,
Right.
and it's another thing to just be real and human, and live life accordingly, because you have options.
Yeah, we all have options.
It's not a lie.
That's the best thing about life. We can always choose many different roads. And that's why we shouldn't be too quick to judge people, because we all vibrate on different levels. We're all here to learn our lessons in our own timing, in our own place, and in our own space. So my views are different from yours, because our journey is different, but we still experience some of the same things. Eventually, though, we all get there. Where is there?
Yeah.
That one place where we understand the full consciousness.
You've worked a lot with, the likes of Richie Spice and, this other guy called Hammond. So many other guys. Yeah, what is it that you may say prepped you to be, the woman, the songstress that you are today? Because like we were saying, there's been plenty of, doors you've had to go through. Some you had to bang them really loud. Yeah. So what is it you'd say prepped you to be who you are today?
Oh man, the struggles of my own relatives and my own family, coming from a humble home where money was sometimes hard to find, and to see them live the way they live, go through some of the things that we go through or went through because of poverty, that made me want to fight harder, do more, do whatever it took to ensure that, like I saw my mother helped her sisters to take care of her children, that I can help to carry some of that weight, and to teach and to show, those who are younger than me, a different way, a way to get out. Because I said, the word ghetto means to get out.
Yes.
And so that was my mission, like from the beginning. I have such heart for those who may not be like financially strong, who never born rich.
Yes.
I have a lot of heart for those people because we can relate, come from the same place.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what prepped me to, and my grandmother too, the strength of my grandmother and everything that she was on the inside.
Yeah. Tell me what has kept you grounded, because these are times where everything is all over. Tech has gone, crazy, and the world is literally, just the same way it wasn't like in the 90s. What has kept you grounded?
You can't make them program me. I could never allow the system to program me. Like I've seen what that system has done through music and through entertainment to especially the black community. I would say black and brown community, seeing what it has done. And even though it's spill over into other communities too, Caucasian community, they are affected just the same. And so that destructive streak, I can see through it and I can see it. So I know where to draw the line, And again, I have to take that moment each and every time to keep my spirit and my enemy strong and focused.
Your enemy is strong and focused.
My enemy needs to be centered.
Yeah.
And I'm not always centered.
Yeah.
I don't always wake up every day and I'm centered and firm, you know? Sometimes you wake up and you're like, you feel off balance for whatever reason, you know?
Yeah.
You got to remind yourself to go back to that center, because that's when you can hear all you need to hear, feel all you need to feel. Every one of us is born with that guide, that guiding spirit. And if you cannot find the center, and if you cannot be still, you cannot hear. And if you cannot hear and you're all the time off balance, then you're going to have a lot of trouble. Whole heap of trouble that will maybe even take you out. You have to be able to listen. And how you listen, sometimes you have to put the phone away.
Yeah.
You have to step away from the noise and find silence and stillness.
You quite have a lot of wisdom. Is it about turning 40?
No, I think even through high school, like my friends were always like, I had a small crew, small group of friends.
Yeah.
We were all A students. We used to compete with each other. If I got a B.
I'm actually told strong women don't have, a big
And I've been like that since I was a little girl. Like I never had a lot of friends. I wasn't the kid to go outside and go next door and play a lot, you know. I pay attention to the older people, the older friends, the older women. Most of the times I spend times around my aunts who would talk their lives, And so I think I've always been that way. Even to date, I don't have a lot of friends. My circle is small.
I hear you're a Trump supporter. Is that true? How do you feel now that is
in 2016?
Yeah.
I came out and I said a lot. More than a lot of people, but I would just repeat. I repeated a lot of the stuff that I saw. Them time I was touring, I just had a baby, So I wasn't paying attention to everything. So I wasn't fully aware of what was happening. So I just spoke, And then when everybody was like all the information started coming, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, whoa, I still have a lot of learning and digging to do too. So don't eat my head off, And sure enough, my views don't have to be aligned with yours.
True.
Right? But we can coexist like these politicians coexist and hang out in the same room, And a lot of his views are like mine, with Christianity, not even the religion, but more like the lifestyle, you see? And I thought that at that time where America was economically, I felt like we needed somebody who wasn't a politician, who wasn't even trained to be a politician, somebody who's just a business person who could bring some money in. That's what I was thinking. We need to make money. Right now, we all need money. So to see where we are now, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I wasn't that far off. More than 70 million people, vote. So I'm not that far off.
Yeah.
But more than anything, see, the world is changing and it's changing fast. And some of our principles and the way we were brought up and our background is being toppled over, it's, rocking. And a lot of us don't know how to deal with that rocking. We don't want to see it rock. We want to see everything stay aligned with nature and life, you see? So I can't say that I 100% believe in everything that he believes in. I would think that's impossible too.
True.
Right? Because I have my own views and he has his. But I think for the most part, there are things that I agree with. Just like there are things that I may agree with people are on the other side too. So my political views in alignment aren't necessarily based on red and blue or picking a side. I don't pick sides. I think of what I think is best for everyone on a whole. I think of us, the people.
Yes.
You know? So if tomorrow comes and there's a great leader who is not a Republican and would do greater things, then
Why
I would have to
not?
go, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not about alignment with a party. I'm neither red nor blue. I'm neither green nor orange.
Yeah.
I'm people.
Your paper.
People straight.
We're wrapping this up, Etana.
Yeah.
But I would love to know, how is it building, an empire together as a couple?
So in every business, in every relationship, you must have some goals.
Yeah.
You must have structure.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have goals, if you don't have structure, if you start a company without listing what the company is about and setting goals and priorities and rules. There are rules in every organization, you have rules, right? A marriage, a relationship, a friendship cannot work without that. As my friend, you must know or have an idea of the things I don't like, I don't tolerate, and don't want from my own life. And you must not bring that in my space. Likewise, I respect you and all your views, and you don't bring that in my space.
Yeah.
We have to agree on what, the structure is. And once you set that foundation and no one deviates, and even if they deviate a little bit, they have to be, again, realigned with the rules and the goals and the structure of the company, the rules and the goals of the family, the rules and the goals of the marriage.
The rules of the family and rules of the marriage.
Yeah. The business, everything has rules.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are privileged to have a songstress, an award-winning songstress, Jamaican, to be specific, female, to be specific, but most importantly, she's not just that, she's also a mother and a wife. So I hope you learned something from Etana, as I'll refer to her later, Mackenzie, which is her father's name.